All right, welcome back, everyone. You're in for a treat today for the 19th Sunday after Pentecost. The Offertory si Ambulavero. You can kind of see it there. There, I can see it better. So, it is going to be a long one, and it's mode 8. It's awesome. Si Ambulavero. Before I start talking too much, my name's William. Thank you for joining me. Let's get into the chant. All right, so before we start, hit that subscribe, ring that bell icon. Do it. It feels good. Trust me. I don't know. It feels good for me to see more subscribers. So thank you all. When I got back from my little trip, and that's why I didn't do a video last week. Sorry. I saw 181 subscribers. So thank you, each and every one of you. It means a lot to me. And we'll keep going. You know, once a little bit every day. So, si Ambulavero, what we're looking at is a really long offertory, but that's okay. That's okay. Long offertories are fine. What we're going to be doing is I want to make sure that two things happen. Oh, and if you hear in the background, my 9-year-old is doing a violin lesson. So that's the beauty of a musical house, is that multiple people are doing music at the same time. So there's a beautiful violin student in the background. So comment down below, like and subscribe for the, comment down below. Sorry, and like and subscribe. But comment down below, I like violin. Or if you know violin, comment down below. Or if you know someone who likes violin, comment down below. So, okay, si Ambulavero. We're going to do this one. I'm kind of torn. So there's a couple options here. Mainly, when you look at a chant, what you want to do is you want to look at the beginning, obviously, and you kind of have your set tones that you normally do. For us, we would normally like pitch on an F in B flat major, ending on an F. And then, but if you look down here, if we did the F, not that high, it goes up to a D when you see here. So da-da-da. But it's interesting. For chant, singing on a D feels high. And I don't know why that is. It must be because I don't know. It just feels very high. It's all about like perspective, right? The theory of relativity. It feels high because you're the only one doing it. So it feels high. But if we look, we're just going to kind of sneak down there and sing it in that and see how it feels. And if it feels too high, we can lower it. And that's all there is to it. You go to the hardest part of the song, the highest, the lowest. You sing it. If it's too much for you, you raise it, you lower it. That's about it. I mean, there are fancier ways of doing it, but I mean, they all amount to that anyway. Manum. It feels pretty good to me. I think that'll work. Sometimes though it doesn't work, especially if the tessitura is really high, if the whole piece is really high, it just doesn't work, and you have to lower it. Having that flexibility to do that is really important. At the Abbey, every week it felt like the cantor picked a different note, and we'd rehearse every day for Sunday or as novices. And we'd do 5 different days, and maybe we sang different pitches each day for the same chant. It was kind of maddening, but it taught you how to read intervals rather than like just pitches. So we'll start on an F in B flat major, but ending on an F. So it's that mode 8 tone. Si I did that all in one breath, and I wasn't thinking about it, but I did it. So it's able to be done. A couple things on that. If you're intoning it, you have to move on, right? You have to keep moving. Don't stop and smell the daisies, right? When you're on the top there. La, too long. You have to move on. Vero. Nice big belly breath is going to be important there. What I mean by belly breath is your belly comes out and then you fill your lungs. So a shoulder lift breath is bad, especially because you're tightening up. Also, just going, isn't that great? Because it feels really tight in your, and it makes you burp apparently. So, but you can feel tight in your lungs. So, like from the whole abdomen, your whole abdomen, your stomach goes out to make room for your diaphragm dropping, your chest expands, and it feels really good. I feel better after starting singing than I did before. Just every day. That's what happens. Oxygen, right? So that's the beginning. Let's keep going. And I forgot to mention our MO. We always sing through sections, and unless I think of something, and then I stop, and then I go over it, make comments, then we move on. At the very end, I'll do the whole thing. So, remembered. All right, in medio. In medio. Notice how it's that kind of, you kind of shut it off. It's in medio. Shut it down, right? That's what it feels like. And with a longer offertory, longer songs in general, you can do that. You have that flexibility to kind of shut it down. Important for if you compose, right? It's a great device to use for a longer text, a longer song. You don't have to get really excited right away. You have time to build, and I think that's an interesting concept, is the idea of space in architecture and the idea of space in music. Being able to see in the structure where there's just, you give the listener space to absorb what they're hearing, especially what they've just heard. Too often I hear new compositions that are all just, they're just throwing ideas at you and they're fast and they don't let you rest. And you're just like, and it's like living in a cramped building. I'm sure there's architectural beauty in some cramped buildings, but really there's not. It's just awful to live in a cramped building, no matter where you are. I'm thinking of those like little tiny Japanese like cell like things where you have enough room to like kind of sit up a little bit, but you're just in like it's almost like a coffin, or like I could never spend a night there, but Japanese have it all over the place in the middle of their cities. So because real estate's at a premium there. So anyway, that's totally off topic. In medio, tribulationes. Let's start right here. Tribulationes. I did something there a little bit different than normal with the qualisma. I didn't slow down as much. Normally, I will add a dot there, and that's long, right? So that you can do that on this program. We're going to remove that dot. It's not in the original, but sometimes we'll just kind of dot it and like make it long to pass through it. Here, because it's two notes on there, I do si ho. I pass through it. Notice how it's still a passing tone. It's a little bit different than normal, but I think if you can remember it on Sunday, it's great. I will certainly do that at our parish with our choir, our Scola choir, which is a squire. But notice that beautiful turn here on la. I love that. Just the sol fa drop where you have the whole step underneath your final. It's so beautiful. Listen to it again. Tribulationes. Let's keep going. Oh, there's so much to unpack there. And we only have so many minutes. Oh, we're already at 10. Oh, man. Okay. Vivificabisme. So much to unpack. The quarter bars, keep them quarter breaths. Faster the better, but please take a breath there if you're in my choir. Please listen to your choir director if you're not in my choir. Vivifica. That should sound familiar from the beginning. See Ambulavero, right? It's a cool 1 2 1 2 1 2, right? 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. It slows down like that. Super cool. And in this, I like to crescendo a little bit, and then get here, and then it's almost like slipping down a waterfall, where you kind of like feel the waterfall building, and then you go, when it comes down. But then the motion picks back up as a dovetail, right? Right after that quarter bar. Most choir directors will blow through that. I agree with that, but we don't do that. We're going to keep that quarter breath there, but keep the motion going. Let's hear what that sounds like one more time. Starting at the beginning of the measure. Vivifica. Now, if your choir is going to do those quarter bars, you can toy around with them a little bit. So there I did a little bit of a break there, kind of a 1-2 on that diamond note. But if you don't do that, you want to lengthen it enough so that you can still feel the connection there. So, me, do, mi. Do you hear how I lengthened it just a hair and then took a really quick snap breath? I really like the way that sounds. I'm probably going to enforce that in our choir. So, quick snap breath there. Do, mi. That was a little off, but you get the idea, right? So, snap breath there. Not lengthening that note at all. All right. Et this note. Beep. That one. Et super iram. Let's keep going. Et super. That's what it sounds like. Et super iram inimicorum meorum extenders. Oh, that reminds me so much of the Easter Vigil. I love it. I love it. Easter Vigil chants. Those are the most gorgeous graduals in the world. And there's just like so many of them. It's so nice. So we also have that cool tribulationis thing from up here, down here. Meo, meo. It kind of goes to that same thing. Oops, I'm off. You get a mea culpa for all your effort. Meorum. Beautiful. Extenders. If you're not paying attention, you're going to make a big pause there. I don't like that because immediately it follows is a pickup, kind of like ma. It picks up right away. Watch out for that. Excuse me. Watch out for that. So, manum. There it is. That was before mea culpa. This was right. manum. There's a third there. Nom toam. Oh, that's a floaty ending if you ever hear one. It's just floating, ready to come back down. And then you get it. So let's hear the manum tuam one more time, and we'll finish it off. Make some comments on that last phrase, and then we'll sing it again from the beginning, and then we'll call it an introit. So, manum tuam et salvum me fecit. If you're not paying attention, that can throw you off. Like I was almost not paying attention. Et salvum. Okay, major major seconds. Et salvum me fecit dexteratu. What a cool ending. Oh my goodness. Ah, the beauty. That I really want to hold that out. My choir, I'm going to be on you to hold that out. If I'm not, I want you to raise your hand and say, I don't think you were honest about holding that out. The very last note there needs to be held out. All right, let's hear that last phrase one more time. So beautiful. Notice on that the repercussions. The repercussions are not really percussive, right? They're more a fresh layer of sound, right? A fresh layer of sound applied. Right. I don't want a glottal stop. So weird. I've heard people do that. And they're like, I went to this prestigious school and it sounds good. I think it sounds weird. Maybe they're just doing it wrong. Maybe. But I think it sounds weird. I think if you are going to do that, let me give them the benefit of the doubt. So, I think that's a little better. I still don't like it. I like layering fresh sound on it, right? So, I love that. So beautiful. We might get a little lag there, but I'm okay with it. We're at the end of the video. All right, let's start from the beginning. We're going to run through the whole thing without stopping. And then we will call that an introit. Or not an introit. It's not an introit. We won't call it an introit. No, we're going to call it an offertory. Si Ambulavero in metio tripulationis vivifica abisme domine et su manum. I did that wrong again. Manum tuam, et salvum me fecit All right. Mea culpa. Mea culpa. Mea maxima culpa. I did so many bad things in there. So, my first mistake was the et super. I did et super. It was wrong. Et super. And then the second one was I did not drop the third there. Manum. That's it. Now, I'm really glad I made those mistakes because those are tricky spots. Because that means you, yes, you, the viewer, the person rehearsing, will not make those mistakes. Which is why I'm glad I made them. So that you remember on Sunday, hey, I remember here, this guy on YouTube, he made a bunch of mistakes. So, well, thank you. That was not an introit. Why do I keep seeing the introit? That was an offertory. It was an offertory. It's still an offertory, and it will always be an offertory. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. Remember to click that like and subscribe button. We'll see you in the next video. We're going to do the communion and then the gradual hallelujah. And then that will be this week. So